She's only just about here every time.
Me.
Right, we're back. It's been a while since we recorded a podcast because Sharon's been busy and I don't know, these things have been just happening, haven't they?
Yeah.
So I'm all out of sync on YouTube, so I'm not doing them every other week like I was. They just seem to be all over the place, but not that it matters to you. Anyway, so yeah, Sharon's been busy this week because she had family visiting.
Yes, I had my youngest, Isla, over with their partner, Marley. So they were here from last Friday. Yes,
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Last Friday. They flew over and I picked them up at Wren until Wednesday. Well, no, they were here till Thursday. They were here with me until Wednesday.
That's right, yeah.
And we went to Paris for the day for Isla's birthday.
So they were over for almost a week, but just not with you.
Yeah, and then they stayed the night in Paris and flew home yesterday afternoon. So, yeah, really nice.
And when we went visiting a few things, you went to a gallery, didn't you, or something? Was that what the Pompidou?
Yes.
I've heard of it, but never really known what it is.
Yeah, I can show you some pictures, put some pictures up. It's an incredibly modern building in the middle of Paris. All the pipework and everything's on the outside of the building, so it's really good.
Dunk was reading that it's actually closed now. Apparently.
Yes, I sent Dunk the link. Yeah, some of the galleries had started to close.
Yeah. He said it's going to be shut for 5 years.
5 years, yeah, for major refurbishment.
Dunk was thinking, we get there and see that.
Yeah, so that's a shame. But still, it's good to see the building. There's quite a lot of modern sculpture around the building in fountains and things like that. And then, inside we went to a free bit, which was... We started walking around this free bit and there's some bizarre pieces of art, modern art. And it wasn't until we went in and watched the little film that we realised it was just one man's collection.
Right.
And most of his collection was in this little flat he lived in. Because after he died, he left the collection to... It wasn't the Pompidou, but it was a French art...
Like an association or
whatever,
something.
yeah. And they were going in and they were cataloguing the collection. And these bizarre things were just on the ceiling in his living room and all sorts of things. So, yeah, it was quite a character.
I suppose, yeah, if they're that bizarre, that's probably what makes them interesting. You can't help but look, can you?
Yes, and he just, if I liked it, I bought it, you know. So.
And the picture you sent Dunk, was that from his collection?
I don't know. What did I send Dunk?
You sent him the one with the cables and clips?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
he quite liked that because
I had to send that
there was
to Dunk.
Sharon, we'll put the picture on, but Sharon sent this picture, and it was a picture made from cable and cable clips. And I said, Dunk, you could do that. He has so much cable left over. He could be making pictures.
That was it. Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I could. And he was. Yeah, he said, if we zoom in close, it's not what you'd say. If anything, it looks like a railway track in some ways.
Yes, yeah.
But it's not that.
That's right. That's the big picture.
Yeah, but it's a very impressive. If one of those things, like any art, you stand back and it looks so much better, doesn't it? But zooming in, you get the detail and what he's actually made it of, and it was very clever.
Yeah.
But so it was a bit gutting because Dunk was saying, we must get to Paris. We don't go to Paris. And he said we could go and we could see that, and then all of a sudden find out it's shut for 5 years. But there you go.
I would really like to, and perhaps the three of us could go. I'd like to go to the catacombs, which are all the giant...
Heard of those,
caves,
yes. Obviously all underground.
Under Paris.
And there's supposed to be a lot, isn't there, I think?
Yeah, and you can only get into part of it as a tourist. I'd like to do that. And I'd like to go to Versailles, which is...
I've always wanted to go to Versailles.
Which is outside of Paris a little bit, so... Yeah, I'd be up for that if you wanted to go.
Yeah, but one day we'll get that sorted.
Yeah, but Pompidou is out of the question for the next 5 years.
How long has it actually been there?
Oh,
because it sounds familiar, like it must have been there a while.
Yeah, I imagine it was... When was Pompidou's an ex-president, isn't he?
That's probably why I know it. Knowing me, I probably know it from that, not from what it being a gallery.
Who was Pompidou? Can I look that up?
I don't know. Do you know Pompidou?
I think he might have been president.
You know me, I'm not politics and stuff, so I don't really necessarily know.
He was.
What era was that?
Recent. So he was president of France from 1969 until his death in 1974.
Well.
So I imagine it's that kind of era. 60s maybe.
What the artwork and the building and all that, yeah. It sounds like it would be actually.
Yeah, it's very modern
described
building.
It.
Yeah.
I'll have to get a picture and put it up in case anybody else knows.
Yeah.
So I don't remember. So you went to Mont Saint Michel as well, didn't you?
Where Marley hadn't been before, so they were quite
so
fascinated by that.
Because you was in it. I think Callum's been there. Your son's been there as well, hasn't he? So I went years ago when we were still holidaying here. I think we've done it twice now, and I think it's changed a lot since we went because all the walkway into Mont Michel. I don't say it. Mont Saint Michel. Has changed because it used to be once upon a time if the tide came in you had to get a boat there, but now they've put a walkway in, haven't they?
There's a long walkway that you get a little navette, like the little bussy taxis.
And did you get that?
Yes.
Oh, right.
So it's a long way to walk actually, especially when you know you're going to be walking up.
Well, it's quite a tiring day actually because it's all hilly.
Yes.
Isn't it? Because it's obviously a mont. So
yeah, for the first time I actually went in the church at the top because
I saw the pictures you sent and it looked like it was in the church. I've never been because I think it was quite expensive from what we went.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 13 each. But once you've done all the walk up and you think, can I be bothered just to go in the church at the top? But it was actually worth it. It was really interesting. So I'm glad I did that. And the views back across the walkway were very good. So yeah, that's the first time I'd been in the church, so I enjoyed that.
Yeah, no,
we've always been put off.
You've bought a house.
I bought another little house.
Oh, that's sweet.
This one I bought before.
Let's have a look.
Mont Saint Michel. That's my earlier Mont Saint Michel house. And this was my new one.
Oh, that is cute.
Which I think looks the same as the one I made.
Oh yes, of course. Yes, that's really cute, isn't it? Well, Sharon says it's like the one she made. Look. What do you think? Which would
They're almost twins.
Which would you buy?
Oh dear. It's quite difficult to find anything small enough these days because.
I don't know if we've mentioned before, but Sharon's got. I don't know if you can see. She's got a little collection there. It's a little. Like a printer's box, isn't it? The other way round, and it's got little houses in it.
Yeah, I've got a thing for houses.
Yeah, what have we been doing?
You've been doing a lot of sewing,
I've been sewing a lot, and I've been. I started it when we were sewing here last. I decided to have a bit go at paper. What's it called? Paper. Is it paper piece? Quilting or something or other? What's it called?
Oh yes, you're quilting. Yeah. Yes.
I didn't start doing quilting and use like paper pieces. Anybody that's quilting probably think Jan, stop waffling. But I'm sure it's paper piece quilting, and I've done it like in hexagons, which I think generally is quite a common shape. So you make all these. As many as you like, basically, bits of paper in hexagon shapes, and then you fold the fabric to it, sew that on, then sew them all together. I'll put a couple of pictures up of what I've done so far, and I'm quite pleased. And I'm not trying to get to that yardage, as we saw that lady the other day. We watched someone the other day, and she's got all her scraps of fabric in her sewing room, and she puts it together to make yardage, as she calls it, because she's in the UK, as a piece of fabric to make something. And this fabric, I'm hoping that I'll have enough to line my dressing gown with. But we will see. Otherwise it could end up being something else. Anyway, so yeah, I've been doing that. I've been on the computer quite a lot, downloading PDF patterns that are free. Just because I've had more time really. Not done any walks. which is a shame. Chair Fit was cancelled, wasn't it?
This week,
This week, so we didn't go to that anyway, which is just as well for Sharon because she was worn out from her trips.
I did 15,000 steps in Paris.
That was in Paris. Not surprising though for
And
Paris. 15,000 is not a lot really for Paris.
And
but
we
it's
didn't
a lot.
walk everywhere because we got a bus and a couple of tubes.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we walked everywhere, but it was still a lot. My back hurts.
Yeah, she's got a bad back. Yeah, so well, so I went for lunch with Duncan yesterday in Fontaine Danielle.
Did you say you've done some garden as well?
Duncan's been doing a bit more garden. He's moved a few plants around as he does. We go through phases in our house depending on the time of year. This time of year, Duncan watches endless garden YouTube videos for ideas. And he might then, the first thing in the morning generally it's bikes, and he watches a lot of people doing lots of tours on bikes, which can be quite relaxing actually to watch that. And then other times it'll be something else depending on what, because he loves a project, so sometimes we'll be watching train videos, which get a bit, but it gives him ideas because he's starting to try and he's reconfiguring his layout now. And he's still not letting me film that, but one day I will film that to show you what he's been up to all these years. So yeah, he's in the garden. He's just moved a few plants around really, and since I can't remember what order we're in, but in one of the videos I talk about the fig tree that we had that in the end died off. And we've now moved our magnolia tree into that spot, and it seems quite happy. So fingers crossed. So yeah, all the time he's like his head's thinking of new things to do in the garden. One of the viewers said the other day she's waiting for Duncan's gardening channel. Yes, but he wouldn't do it because although he'll talk on camera when he's with me, he would never just do it himself. That's the trouble. He wouldn't probably stand in front and present, would he? I mean, he goes on to Billy's videos and he will talk then because Billy's talking to him, but he won't. I said, because he said he was saying something about someone else's video the other day, and he said, "Why don't people talk?" And I said, "Don't. You didn't when you did the little frog video. You didn't talk." He went, "Oh yeah." Not everybody's comfortable talking on camera, unlike me. Even Sharon's just getting in there now, and so not an awful lot been going on. Yeah. Anyway, so have you had any reasonable dreams recently? Well, I did have one. Yes, I've got one on my phone to talk about, but I did have one last night, which I haven't written down yet. You and I were in France. But that's strange. Yes, but I was your employee. And I had to, there was something going on with cows and milking, which seemed to be your responsibility as well. Right. But there was these almost like little chimney stacks, and you took the top off and milk ran out. But there was cows as well. Right. But my job was to go round and read all the electrical meters of the people in the village. Okay. Which were all English people. No French, but at various stages I lost the piece of paper I was supposed to be writing them on. You lent me a watch, but it was only the face. It didn't have a strap, but I kind of plonked it on and covered it up, so I lost that at some stage. Friends of ours, Max and Julie, were there, but not in their house, in a different house. Yeah. But it was all very strange. So, I didn't even get round the end of that. So I have got another one. I'd taken a job in a bar. Right, okay. But it was in addition to my normal job, I think. Well, in addition to working for me? This was earlier than working for you with the electrical meters. Right. There were 2 readings as well in the meter. I don't know where they you do get your night reading, don't you? I don't know. Your day reading. Yeah. Anyway, this was a new bar that was just opening, and we were like getting prepared for a big opening. And at that stage, I hadn't served people in a bar. Okay. So it was, but uniforms arrived, and we tried these on an old man. I don't know why. So you're trying them on the old man to see if they're going to fit you?
Yeah.
Right.
And I spent a lot of time photocopying very badly written pages for the boss, and also gluing back jewellery that I'd borrowed from someone. And one of those people actually came into the bar and I gave them back the glued jewellery. And yes, I did. See, I started to write on here. I don't think I actually stayed long enough to see the opening. And then I went, oh yes, I did. Because there were 2 Croatian women drinking in the bar. I don't know what this had to do with anything. So I don't know why I was working in a bar.
It's funny because in the last, whether it's coincidence or not, I don't know, but in the last week or 2 I've been sleeping quite well. And
It's not seeing me.
I was going to say, yeah. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, why
but I've been sleeping.
I've
I've been sleeping quite well, and I mean, obviously, I'm still going to sleep, watching something to send me to sleep, and I took me up when I can't keep my eyes open, turn it off, and just roll over. But other than the usual wee breaks as we have, yeah, I've been sleeping fairly well. Last night wasn't a good one because we haven't been walking or anything. I did 3 days in a row gone on my bike, so I think my muscles were a little bit tired.
Yes, yeah.
So they kept me awake, but other than that, yeah, and I've been doing it okay. I was quite pleased. I was watching something on because I usually watch YouTube or something because it's got like this little ledge where I can put my phone when I'm on the bike. And I was just watching Lex in Bad Biscuit. She's a YouTuber I've watched for years now, and she sells jewellery, second-hand jewellery and stuff, and she had 15 bags to open.
Wow.
Can you imagine? They were like gift bags, but each of those and she bought each bag for £5 at the charity shop, and she bought, I think it was 15 bags at £5 each, and each one of them had different amounts in, something like that. She said 75. Yeah. When I added it up, I was going a couple of hundred. It's my maths. And so it was quite interesting seeing what she got out of it and see if she was going to get anything worth reselling to get her money back.
Yes.
And there was one particular make that she got 11 boxes. Nearly everything was new with tags.
Wow.
But 11 boxes with these silver rings in. So she should be able to get that back with those. So it's worth a gamble.
Right. So I wonder if it was someone had died and family had given it.
I don't know. Well, they probably.
Yeah.
They probably. Lottie's moving the camera now, but she's after that cable, wasn't she?
She is.
Lottie. But yeah, it was a charity shop, so they probably had places donated them to them or something, and they just spread them out. But anyway, yes, because I was engrossed in these boxes, I managed to sit there for 35 minutes.
Oh, well done.
I went, and that's the funny thing is when I see the time, I think, well, that's quite enough. And I stop.
Yes, you can.
I might have been able to carry on, but no, that's quite enough.
I've done enough.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll go. Lottie is pulling the cable.
Lottie.
Cheeky bots it. So let's
try and get Lottie occupied.
Right, we've missed the Nosey Jug because we haven't done it for so long, so we're going to go with the Nosey Jug. For those that don't know, the Nosey Jug is just full of questions that pry into our private lives and our brains and everything. So it's
nice
most of the time we can answer, but then there's lots of times where we're stumped. And I think, what we're supposed to say about that, or it might be something we've already discussed and you know about.
Lottie.
The camera's going to get pulled over again in a minute because she's after the cable.
Has she unplugged it?
Possibly.
Haven't you pulled it out of the doodah?
I'm glad you spotted that. You leave things alone. Right. Yes, I found a load of questions that I forgot I had on the computer, and I printed them out. We only want one, Sharon. One at a time.
Oh dear. Hula.
I'm round Sharon's again today doing this because we're going to try and do some sewing, although Sharon's got a bad back. But
I'm all right as long as I don't bend over
Yeah.
anything.
Because I've been showing her how to make this dress.
Yes.
So the last video I did for the other channel was cutting it out, and this time hopefully we'll get to constructing it.
I did make a very simple jacket with Marley.
You
as
did.
Well. I have to show you
I'll
that.
pop those pictures in as well.
Yes, because yeah, I said to Marley, said, "Oh, have you still got that blanket? Because I think they were with me or with us when we bought it in the Virile shop."
Oh right, okay. Well, we talked about it, hadn't we, the
yeah.
other day, and I wasn't sure there'd be enough there when I looked at it, but yeah, there obviously was.
Well, Marley's technique is very simple.
Yeah.
So they're very much self-taught, and they just grabbed a shirt of mine, well, what you would call a shacket, and said, right, lay that out. Yeah, we've got enough space there, and just went for it, you know. So, but I did all the sewing. And put some sleeves in. Never put a sleeve in.
So the sleeves were separate?
Yes.
Because I spun up, but at first when I looked at it, I was thinking that's going to be really awkward. You won't be able to lift your arm up if it's one piece. But yeah, so you did.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Anyway,
Just
first question.
Just to warn you, Lottie has just gone into the litter tray.
Oh God.
Hopefully it will only be a wee.
Okay.
If not, we might have to scoop it out and disinfect the corner. Okay.
This is going to be so disjointed. Right. First question. I'm not gonna...
Who is your hero?
Have we had this one before?
Hero.
Anyway, who is my hero?
Or
I'd
superpowers?
probably Duncan.
I knew you were going to. Isn't that sweet, everyone?
Because he just seems to be able to turn his hand to everything. He looks after me.
Yeah.
So that's mine. What about yours?
Well, I share Duncan sometimes, and it's very useful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And for DIY purposes and ideas.
Yeah.
Who's my hero? Oh, I'd probably say my kids. I mean, if I'm saying just a boy, I'd probably say Callum. Just he's grown up to be such a lovely man. I'm very proud of him, what he achieves at work, and the kind of man he is. Yeah.
And Callum, Sharon's son, has. What does he work? He works with charities, doesn't he?
He works for Crisis, which is a homelessness
Yeah.
charity in the UK.
And he's done a few videos about homelessness on Instagram and that, and I've been trying to think of a way of saving them. I could put them on YouTube to show you, but I haven't managed to do that.
Yes, and he's got very strong green credentials and will go to protests and things like that about climate change and things like that. So.
Looks like a newsreader, not a newsreader, a proper news presenter, doesn't he?
Yes.
Because the last one, he was stood in front of the
House of Commons.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's a lovely boy.
So he's your hero, but you're saying all your kids.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm proud of my kids as well.
That's long.
What do you think your pet's voice would sound like if they could talk?
Oh dear, that's really interesting. Yes. Would they have slight French accents? Because I speak to them in English, but they were both born in France.
They were both born in France. That's a good point.
Maybe Marco is a little bit with a strange French accent because he talks to French people outside the house, but in here,
yeah,
it's like, "Where's my dinner?" I don't know.
And there's Lottie, who am I?
Who am I? Her and Leo bumped noses this morning, which was really sweet. Yeah.
The cat next door has similar markings to Lottie, but there's Leo, as in Leo, next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe she's a little bit more.
Lottie, yeah. That's the name makes you think that as well, doesn't it?
Je suis Lottie. I don't know.
I haven't got a pet, so it wouldn't sound like anything, obviously.
What about when you had pups then?
Pups. I just can't even think because I can't remember too much about the character to think of that, to be honest. And he was out quite a lot.
Yes,
He liked to be out and about.
Yeah, he was an outdoorsy boy. Oh, this is a good one, Jan. What two people would you like to see box each other? They used to do those celebrity fights, didn't they? The made up ones or real ones. Yeah, for a while.
Who is that? It depends whether I want it to be a serious fight or a funny fight.
Yeah, it's part of me. There's a couple of people running the world at the moment who would quite like to see punch the lights out of each other.
Well, we'd like to see them fight to the death, wouldn't we? Who would I like to see fight each other? Yeah, that's the only thing I would be thinking of, actually, would be politicians. Just to see, but they couldn't, if I was watching it, they couldn't survive. Horrible, aren't I? But they're just, some politicians are just horrible.
What about two male celebrities fighting covered in mud?
I think it would be quite. I think it would be quite funny to have two very camp celebrities fight.
Yes.
That would be quite. Yeah.
A bit of that going on.
Yeah.
Do you remember the
saying
fighting?
that? So you imagine Frank and David having a. That'd be quite funny. Yeah.
Do you remember in Bridget Jones when who is it? It's Colin Firth and Hugh Grant have a fight?
I don't remember.
Yeah. And it is very much. They don't quite know what to do now they're in a fight.
That's who you. Is that who you would want? Well, it's just
I'm
general,
going
isn't it? Between us.
Trump and Putin to the death, I think.
Trump and Putin, yeah. If I were to give you a free pass to sleep with a celebrity, who would you choose?
My God. I don't need a free pass. I'm a single woman. That's aimed at the married, isn't it?
Well, it might be to someone who's married as well. Though,
oh,
mightn't it?
yes. I was not thinking of their rhubarb. Now, see, I'm torn between picking someone who looks gorgeous but is the same age as me. So would they be good? And choosing someone quite young and enthusiastic.
Virile. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'd say George Clooney.
He'd be smooth, wouldn't he?
But he's the same age as me, so would he be up for it even?
Oh, I see what you mean. Certain age.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would I think of? Certain people that...
Oh, it's raining. Someone very young.
Trouble is, there's too many celebrities or actors that make you go weak at the knees, aren't there? So there's too many to choose from, really.
Being a Grey's Anatomy fan at the moment.
Yeah, there's quite a few in there, isn't there?
Oh, yes.
In fact, you could put most of their names in a hat, and if I had a free pass, we'd just take any of those
Take
out.
anyone on any day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't told you. Duncan and I were looking at the analytics of the channel.
Your
for
channel.
My sewing channel.
Right.
And according to YouTube, because look at the age group that watch it, 'cause it's important. I mean, there's much the same age group as watch this channel, to be honest. But it said it was 100% men.
No.
I can only think it's the man's subscription, and the wife's using it. So it's the only way I can think of it being.
For a start.
Well, good point. And I know at least I know for everybody that does, apart from Adam, he used to. Other than that, they're all women that talk to me. So that makes me think it must be male subscriptions, and the wife's using the. So where else would they get that from?
No, there's something wrong there.
That's what I think. So this is the algorithms and everything of YouTube, where it makes absolutely no sense, which is why my subscribers don't go up, because it doesn't work. So basically, we would sleep with anybody on Grey's Anatomy.
Even some of the women, if it came to it, something beautiful, aren't they? You have discovered a beautiful island where you can build your own society with your own rules.
Right.
What will be the first rule you establish? See, last time we did this, we discovered that we couldn't do that Duncan.
That's right, yeah. We was on an island and it was how we were going to survive. So, yeah, so this is
In the
making
end,
your
we
own
bought dunk.
community.
Oh, that's the first rule.
Yeah. Everybody be nice to each other. There you go.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar, but being nice to each other is better, because I was going to say everyone has to share resources.
Mm.
So if you discovered a freshwater lake, you couldn't keep it to yourself. But if you were being kind, then you'd be sharing anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so I was going to say that, yeah.
Yeah. Very good rule.
Which is the way it should be in the world anyway.
Of course.
Oh, God. It's not my favourite subject. What do you think happens to us after death?
Well, I'm not a religious person, although strictly speaking I was probably brought up C of E, as we say in the UK, which is Church of England. I must admit, I am fairly agnostic, so I'm not dismissing the idea that there's something there, but I don't know. But when I went to India, they talked a lot about karma, and our guide talked about reincarnation, but in a quite scientific way, which I liked, which is we're all made up of atoms and tiny pieces. So when we die, do we all just become atoms again? And our atoms could go anywhere. We could be a tree, could be a person again. So I like the idea of me atoms flying off to be something else, but most likely it's just be nothing. We wouldn't know about it.
Well, that's the sad thing, isn't it?
Is that sad?
I don't know. I like to think that I'd love to think that there you go, just to another world. But
yeah.
You hear so much. I'm always very tempted to watch them. There's these NDEs. I watch them all the time. The near-death experiences,
yes.
And I've watched another one recently, and one was a doctor who, I mean, she wasn't religious really, but she had an operation and had an NDE, and you start thinking, well, if someone as intelligent as that has been there, seen things, and she said, if anything, she didn't want to come back because it just felt so...
Well, you've just been through the whole Series 17, Meredith on the Beach.
Oh, that was very annoying, but yeah.
But that was part of that she was meeting people that had died in her life. And she knew about, spoilers here, DeLuca dying because he came to see her and met his mum.
Yeah.
So everyone was frightened when she woke up of telling her about DeLuca, but she already knew.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
Yeah, well, so this is it. None of us know, but I think... Is everybody trying to put this nice picture in our head so that you're not afraid, or is it just is that actually what happens? I don't know, but it's not. I mean, it's something that's on my mind quite a lot actually. But I've been like that since I was a kid. So
yeah.
So I always like to think positively about it if you can.
What's the harm? What's the harm in thinking? Well, I'll tell you what the harm is. As you as an individual, what's the harm in you thinking you're going somewhere nice if that makes living here easier? But one of the disadvantages of karma, if you like, is, talking about people in India, is there's a kind of belief that if you're in poverty now, it's because you did something bad in a previous life. So therefore, people living on the streets aren't treated as well as they could have been or helped to get out of that situation. Because they because they think, well, that's their lot.
That's the strong belief about it.
Yeah.
That's an awkward one, isn't it? But because that's the saying, isn't it? What did I do in a previous life to deserve this? Isn't it? So what does that mean? Because we're not in a bad position, are we? Does that mean we had a crap life before, wherever we were before, and we're now getting something better?
Yeah, but it's whether you deserve something better. It's because you
That's
can
what I mean.
go on having
We deserve.
we deserve to be here.
Yeah.
There is an argument to say as well that if there's only this one life, then there's an obligation to make the most of it, isn't there?
Yeah, oh, definitely. And it's that, as you get older, that thing about life being too short.
Yes.
Just, it's so obvious the older you get, and it's horrible.
Yeah, suddenly you realise all those years
So
you maybe
so it's
I
not
don't
a
know.
case of what we think it is, it's what we'd like it to be. And
Yes.
because we've not been there, so we don't know,
No.
and we can only... Next.
On a much lighter note.
Good.
What would you choose? Uncontrollable farting or uncontrollable hiccuping?
Oh. I think that'd have to be farting, because hiccuping drives you balmy, doesn't it? Farting, you just have to keep apologising, keep getting the air freshener out. But then again, you might be the sort of person that doesn't smell.
Well,
And
spending
also,
several days with vegans.
and also, farting is one of those things that you can end up being childish about and giggling over, don't you?
I know.
So it's a prompt to make you laugh, whereas hiccuping,
It's just annoying.
it's just very annoying.
I
I
think
can't remember what the question was then.
Farting or
yeah,
hiccuping.
yeah. So definitely farting, I think, for me. And well, in French, that's is it puerta or something?
I don't know what it is actually.
It's actually the verb underneath says fart or go foot.
Foot.
P-H-U-T.
Foot. Oh, that's quite sweet.
Next. Right. Do you have a biggest fear?
A biggest fear. There are things I don't like that I avoid, therefore.
Right.
Roller coasters.
Yeah, I forgot you don't like those, do you? But then you're not a very good traveller, really, are you? She gets very... Well, motion sickness, basically.
Motion sickness, yeah. Yeah, so I always think I'm going to die.
Right.
And I won't open my eyes, so no way am I enjoying the experience.
No.
So I'm just like, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. So I hate roller coasters. So it might be the motion sickness thing, or just that, yeah, I don't like the feeling of... But I'm not afraid of heights. I can stand on top of a tall building.
Yeah,
Might
but
make
it's
me
not moving,
legs-
is it, I suppose?
Yeah.
Well, I think, as we've already said, my biggest fear is the dying bit, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't got anything... No, because most travel I'm okay. I don't like sailing. I don't like being on a boat, but I'm all right with flying.
What is it about the dying? Is it the not being here anymore? Is it the pain? Is it not knowing
That's what
where
I
you're going?
puzzle with in my head all the
Yeah.
time. Because I keep telling myself, you won't even know anything about it when it comes to it.
No.
But I think it's the thought of not being here again. Yeah. And then you start thinking about what you're kind of really morbid again, aren't we? Like leaving people on the, like Duncan on his own or whatever, and if that's the way it happens. But
Yeah.
so yours is motion sickness and mine is dying as usual. Who wrote these questions?
Put them in the jug.
What is the weirdest thing in your home?
In my home, apart from my house collection, my hot water bottle collection. Have I got anything else weird? Jan's looking round to see if
Well, I'm
there's anything
thinking to
weird.
go, maybe that's the thing. Maybe it would be a case of picking something in each other's house, because ourselves, we wouldn't necessarily think it was weird, would we?
No. Have a look round and see what you think.
Weird.
Maybe from pottery. I don't think I've got anything that weird. Maybe my hot water bottle collection.
The thing is, as well, when you live with something and get used to it, it doesn't seem weird anymore, does it?
No. Do you think you've got anything weird?
I'd say your coat hooks are a weird shape.
They're organic.
Because they're not. Let me I'll just show you.
They're organic.
So they're not They're not all the same shape, and they're not hooks as such.
Knobs.
They're weird shapes.
Yeah. But they blend in, which the idea is.
Yeah.
Because I only use them for visitors, really. My coats are in the cupboard.
Yeah. No, we're not very good with these questions. I can't think of any
Well,
about in
one
my
person's
house.
weird is another person's sanity.
Or treasure. Yeah.
Treasure.
Well, in my house, do you think of anything you think's weird?
No. I suppose some people wouldn't like your taste in pictures on. But I've got very similar taste to Dunk, so I quite like a lot of your pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's stuck on her tooth. Look, she's trying to, it won't come on. It's not going to get detached. You might have to take that off, Sharon. Okay, last question of the day.
Oh, is it?
Well, because we're already on 52 minutes.
Oh, but you did say you'd have to cut some of it out.
I did. All right, well,
A couple more. I'm enjoying it.
I don't know how I'm going to edit this. It's a mess. Right, go on.
Do you like small talk?
Yes.
Well, what would we say to each other?
Exactly. If we didn't have small talk, we'd be lost.
But we do, don't we? Some people would say it was rubbish. But we go, oh, what have you been doing? And
Exactly.
I just said to you just now, it's raining. As if that's important.
I'll tell you, Duncan doesn't like small talk.
I think
He likes you to get to the point and no waffling and...
Yeah, my ex hated small talk.
Yeah, I think it's more of a woman thing, isn't it?
Yeah. He used to go to a barber's where it was run by Chinese people who didn't speak any English. And he loved it because they didn't make small talk with him. And he would just point at a picture on the wall that he wanted and they'd do it.
Wow.
He loved it for that reason.
Small talk is how you discover things, isn't it? Just...
Yeah, we love it. I mean, if the jug isn't about small talk, I mean, it does talk about big issues, but we spend most of our time on the small talk bit,
Yeah,
don't we?
exactly.
Yeah, I think more men should do small talk.
No, I do like a bit of small talk. What's that? I mean, I suppose it's not for everybody, but if you're meeting up with friends for coffee, it's more often not going to be small talk, isn't it? To me, if it wasn't and it got political or it got too heavy, I'd be thinking, why did I come? Next, what part of the driving test are you most likely to fail now?
Now? Oh, I mean, I failed it several times anyway.
What was yours? How many times did you do it?
4, I think.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. I just
4 times.
Went to pieces. Anxiety got the better of me. And I actually had to take Valium.
I took those calm tablets.
Oh, yeah. See, they're good. Yeah. Now.
I think for me, it would be sign recognition. I'm not...
Yes.
I think it was luck that I passed my highway code, because now I still don't necessarily know what all the signs are, which isn't good,
so we
really.
don't know all in France because we've never learnt them here.
Well, no, but I don't think they're a lot different, unless I've been here too long now and I've forgotten.
Well, obviously left and right.
Yes. That's the point, actually. Did you fail for those reasons before, left and right, or was just as you got older?
Yeah, I don't remember being a problem when I was
She
younger.
knows her left and right. Sort of.
Well, I know in theory.
But it's...
But quite
I don't know if we've mentioned this before when we're out and about, and I'll say to Sharon, right, turn right, and she'll go left.
Yes.
And she thinks she's going right. Things like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe...
And then she looks at me like a man. I said, where are we going? She said, what do you mean, where are we going? We're supposed to be going there. And she's going there.
Yeah, maybe that's got worse as I've got older.
Yeah. I mean, that's not necessary. I mean, yeah, you definitely would fail for not paying attention, I suppose. Maybe it would come under that, I don't know.
Well, yes, but I think if you knew you were taking a test, you would be right on it, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, when we're younger, but I don't know about... Are you right on it when you get to our age? I don't know.
So It's the chatting in the car probably doesn't help.
It doesn't, but then that's why I'm glad my new car alerts me of things like don't go too near the white lines, don't go too fast.
Look at the screen. Don't look at Sharon.
Yeah, it's camera that says pay attention, be alert. I think that comes up a lot more for me than it does for Duncan actually.
Yeah, I think I'm still quite good at using my mirrors and things like that. Of course, the highway code now is like a computerised test, isn't it? Where we only got asked a couple of questions out of the highway code book, didn't we? Our tests. I mean, I'd struggle to pass.
Do you know, I can't even remember. I thought perhaps I'm confusing my test with what I know my children did because it's too long ago for me to remember. Was it out of the book? I've got a feeling I sat a test or something.
I didn't. When did you pass?
We passed about the same time,
yeah, so
didn't
you
we?
didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
My daughter's just taken her theory for the third time because she just can't get the money together because it's such an expensive thing.
It's an expensive
that
thing.
she's done the theory 3 times because you have to take it every 2 years until you pass. And so she's passed again, but she still can't get the money together to go to to do the test, pass, and have a car because it's all expensive.
Yeah. At the moment, none of my kids drive, do they?
Oh no, it's Marley and Daisy, isn't it?
Marley and Daisy both drive. Yeah.
One more then.
One more. Oh, what would a perfect city look like that you would like to live in?
Be clean. It would be full of fabric and craft shops. It would have a nice coffee shop that you could go and have small talk.
Yes.
And knit and sewing.
Yeah,
It'd be a sociable town, put it that way.
Town. Everybody knows each other.
Yeah. Everybody knows your name.
Yes. A nice mixture of buildings. I do like to see traditional buildings restored, or at least the facade. But I also, having gone to the Pompidou day before yesterday, to see a nice, clever, modern building as well.
I've been on holiday to many places where I've been there and thought I could live here because they've been such lovely places. But then you go to the next one, you say the same again. So it's just worth some that you get a good feel from, isn't it?
Yes, clean's a good one. Maybe all electric.
Clean and no crime.
No crime. No poverty.
No.
So everybody has enough money to live there, has the right size place for them to be able to live in. One has a little garden, communal gardens.
I wonder.
That's a good question.
It's just making me think. I wonder if it would ever be possible to have a city or even just a town where there's no money involved, but everybody's sharing and giving. And I wonder if that would ever work.
Yeah.
Everybody growing veg and then sharing. Everybody sharing. You know, it's all. Yeah.
Principles of communism.
See, small talk again.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to stop for lunch now.
Yum yums.
I've got a real challenge editing this video, I have to say, because we've had Lottie disturbing us and things happening, and so we will see you next time.
Okay.
Au revoir.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.